He wants him to move on. I don't think Paul Pogba is that bothered whether he's a Real Madrid player, Juventus player, Manchester United player next season. I think he'd be quite happy in all three of those places. I think that if he can't get that move to Juventus that Raiola wants, or that where he wants the cash, I think that he'd be quite happy to stay at Manchester United. I think he'd be quite happy, and I think that these rumours coming out are, if we can't get this done, he's happy to stay here and do that. Mentioning Jimmy Garner, I saw a tweet from a Forest fan today saying, I've resigned myself to saying I'm not going to see James Garner in a Forest shirt past this season because he's that good, which is just good signs for Manchester United.
It is good signs. Bartek Bresky says, no Ollie in goal, Jay. Yeah, I think I said Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in goal the other week. I don't know what it was on about. I can't even explain. It's not even the drugs anymore. I can't use that excuse. It's just pure idiocy by me, to be honest with you. Maybe it's old age. I'm getting on a bit, aren't I? Ross Murphy says, can Jay Motti get to the watch-along table in time? Do you know what? This is what I'm up against. There's some distance between this table and the watch-along table.
But you've been doing your running.
I've not done a run for all week. I'm slacking. We will have the guys joining us shortly. We'll have Adam McCullough and Joe Smith and myself for the watch-along. Also, at half-time, you're going to have him and Ronaldo Brown.
The infamous Ronaldo Brown.
Can we forget about the pigeon conspiracies this week, whatever it was last week?
Well, it depends how the game's going. Because if we're losing and stuff, do we want to talk about Crystal Palace, or do we want to talk about Ronaldo Brown and the robot pigeons? Because I prefer talking about robot pigeons when United are losing. I don't know about you guys.
To be fair, anything was better than that absolute ball fest that was served up at Stamford Bridge. Carl James Fenton says $5. Says Jay pulls a hammy. During the run. Not the first time. I did that on the Dad's race at my daughter's sports wear, and I had to finish the race because I couldn't stop. It was a right weird run. It was most embarrassing. Mike Smalling says the pigeon whisperer. Yeah. Hang on a minute. What's that about? Someone said if Pogba gets rid of his agent, I'll be okay with him staying. Don't think that's going to happen. Listen, I'd love to see Paul Pogba staying. I hope he does. I just don't know that will happen. And if we will see that triumvirate you mentioned of Garner, Pogba and McTominay. Scott McTominay's having a good season, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I think he had, coming back in, I think he got a little bit of stick after the weekend saying that he didn't have his best of games, but he hadn't played in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't his best game. I think he's got 7
goals this season.
7 goals this season, which is quite decent. I think he's been. I think he's done well. I think he's. I think there's still another level from Scott McTominay. Do give us a like as well. Make sure you're liking the video.
What are we up to on likes, Jay?
I don't.
440. How many people are watching?
There's 2,500 people
we said
watching.
1,000. Come on, let's hit 1,000 likes before we see Adam McCullough.
440 have liked it. By my calculations, that's less than half. So yeah, get involved in that and give us a like. Come on, give us a like. No matter whether you think.
Please like me. Oh.
Adam McCullough's shouting, "Please like me" off camera, and you'll see in a minute that he's come dressed in fancy dress today, like Neil Armstrong.
He has. Our own astronaut.
Call me a space cadet. Well, he's come dressed as one. So we'll have Adam McCullough in the flesh shortly. Don't worry. So you can ask him all about his NASA Adidas top.
Are out of the squad. We've got Fred and Matic in midfield. We also have Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Greenwood, and the return of give it to Eddie Cavani up top for tonight.
Player of the month.
Player of the month.
On the bench for us.
On the bench we have Lee Grant on the bench.
My favourite reserve goalkeeper. That.
Victor Lindelof, Alex Tellez, Twanzebe, Brandon Williams, Ahmad, Dan James, Scott McTominay, and Shola Shoretire.
Shola Shoretire. We're getting there now with his name or what? We've had ups and downs with that.
Say what we want with it now, aren't we?
Have you got the Crystal Palace team as well?
I can pull that.
Sorry,
find the Crystal Palace.
I thought you had it to hand. I didn't.
What I can do is
we know there's no Wilfried Zaha because he's injured.
Yes.
In fact, they're missing quite a few players. I think they had 8 players out, but we've seen this before.
Goes to the Crystal Palace team. I'm pulling it up on the One Football app, which you can click the link in the description to get hold of. We've got Guita in goal, Ward, Kiyate, Cahill, and Patrick Van Aanholt make up their back four. Milivojevic, McCarthy, Andros Townsend, Eze, Jordan Ayew, and Christian Benteke.
Do you know Andros Townsend once? I was asked to do a thing like for this channel. They said, "Can you do something for tell us a player who you'd pick for your fantasy football team, one who's a maybe and one to avoid." And City were playing Crystal Palace, right? So my one to avoid in midfield was Andros Townsend.
Was that when he scored that goal?
And he scored like a 30-yard screamer.
Man of the match.
He was man of the match and everything. He's the one player in the whole of the Premier League I picked out. Like, don't bother with him. He's rubbish. Not just he's rubbish.
He's rubbish. They're playing City. Never going to score.
He's never going to do anything. And he scored an absolute worldie. Well, hopefully he won't do that tonight. I mean, that's he's obviously a threadbare team, but there's 1 or 2 players there who